young female journalist, conservative journalist by the name of Laura Loomer.
If America's men acted like Laura Loomer, our problems will be fixed in about 5 minutes.
Chained herself to
She
Twitter.
chained herself.
Good evening and welcome to episode 111 of Loomer Unleashed. I'm your host, Laura Loomer. We have so much to talk about tonight, and if you're watching live right now on Rumble or you're watching live on X, please be sure that you're following my Rumble channel, rumble.com/Laura Loomer, or you're retweeting the live link on X. Be sure that you're also following the Loomer Unleashed account. You can retweet the live stream either from my main account or from the Loomer Unleashed account. And be sure that you click the followed button on Loomer Unleashed so that you never miss an episode, and you hit the notifications button, and you also enable notifications on the Rumble app so that you always get notified when we go live. Hope you guys like our new banners. We have updated our banners here at Loomer Unleashed, so that's exciting. I think it looks pretty nice. Updated banners on the Rumble account and also on the X account. I apologize for the delay tonight. As you know, Loomer Unleashed generally begins at 9 p.m. Eastern. But if you didn't see the news today, or maybe you did see the news, Loomer Unleashed is all over the news because, well, Jasmine Crockett, the Democrat congresswoman from Texas, or Miss Ghetto Fabulous, as I like to call her, decided to physically assault Loomer Unleashed DC correspondent Charles Downs. And Charles Downs is going to be joining us here momentarily to talk about why Congresswoman Crockett decided to physically assault him up on Capitol Hill today. But before that, we're going to have a conversation about Democrat violence. And look, Democrat violence is something that has been ongoing for the last 10 years in our country, really as a way to combat President Trump and then candidate Donald Trump. We saw during the presidential election season of 2015 and 2016, the Hillary Clinton campaign engaged in violence through the acts of bird dogging, if you recall, when they would pay protesters to show up and incite violence at Trump rallies and get everybody riled up so that there would be physical altercations. Then, of course, we saw the wave of Antifa violence and, the night of before the inauguration with the deplorable, with Democrat activists and Democrat political operatives getting caught placing bombs and placing, smoke bombs in the ventilation systems for the different balls and the different galas the night before the presidential inauguration in 2017, the beginning of 2017, when President Trump was inaugurated. And so then we saw, the Summer of Love and Black Lives Matter and all the Antifa rallies and, just the resistance, as they like to call themselves. And now we're seeing the resistance 2.0, where you have all these radical Democrat activists organizing these Tesla takedown events, organizing all types of Democrat movements across our country and uniting with radical Muslims. You see that the Palestinian movement is now working hand in hand with the radical left. They are really a red-green alliance, as I like to call it, this Marxist Islamist alliance that is working to stage a coup. I would say it's a new coup. We already saw through Crossfire Hurricane the first coup against the Trump administration, and now we're watching a second coup in the form of this judicial coup, which is being supported and amplified by the radical left and their protest movements, which are now taking shape in the form of Tesla takedowns. And we've been covering, really, Loomer Unleashed has been at the forefront of documenting and reporting on these Tesla takedown protests that have been happening across our country. We were the first to really call them out and identify their funding sources. If you were watching Loomer Unleashed last week, then you saw that groups like 1630 Fund and the Hopewell Fund are now threatening to sue me because of my reporting on the funding of these violent Tesla takedown protests. And then we also were the first publication to get inside the Tesla takedown group calls and record their conversations, and the Sunrise Movement and Indivisible, to show you firsthand what these individuals have coming and what they have planned. And as Mediaite reported, Loomer Unleashed was the first publication to publish the video of Democrat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, which went viral. Really, it's been a very viral video and has now prompted calls of condemnation all over the mainstream media and all within the Republican Party because, well, and I believe we have this video. Jasmine Crockett was on this Tesla takedown call last week, calling for a day of rage, a day of action against Tesla. And that, of course, is taking place by organizers this coming Saturday, March 29th. And she was talking about how, it's my birthday on March 29th. And there's nothing that I want more than to watch Elon Musk get taken down. There's nothing I want more. And of course, she riles people up and, she gets away with it because she's black. And, we have to have a conversation in this country about how women of color, black women, oftentimes get away with incitement to violence and making threats because they're able to use their color and their race or their religion as a shield from public criticism. We've seen this in the form of Jasmine Crockett. We've seen this in the form of Rashida Tlaib. We've seen this in the form of AOC and Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar, these Muslim women, these black radical women who use their racial identity as a way to get protection from public criticism for their incitement of political violence. And because they are black, because they are Muslim, because they are Latina or gay or transgender, whatever it may be, the Republican Party is just so unwilling to call them out. So we have had literal jihadists serving in the United States Congress. We have actual Hamas sympathizers. We have actual agents of the Muslim Brotherhood serving in the United States Congress. We have women in Congress who have actually celebrated the actions of ISIS. Okay. And no, that's not hyperbole. Ilhan Omar actually sent a letter to a judge within her own district in Minneapolis 5 advocating for the early release of several Somali men who were convicted of trying to flee the country to work in support of ISIS. You have to ask yourself, why is it that, these women are then able to get classified information? Ilhan Omar was a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee where she was receiving classified information. And we have never seen any Republicans call for Ilhan Omar or for Rashida Tlaib to be censured, despite the fact that they refused to condemn Hamas. And in this case with Jasmine Crockett, she is now not only calling for violence against Elon Musk, and we're going to play this video for you momentarily, but today she physically assaulted Loomer Unleashed DC correspondent Charles Downs. She called disabled, paralyzed Texas Governor Greg Abbott, Governor Hot Wheels, making fun of his wheelchair. And she did an interview in which she called for Senator Ted Cruz to be hit over the head violently to knock him out, to take him out of his race, to knock him out. So she is inciting violence. She is violating the rules and the oath taken by members of Congress. And she was caught on video today, in a video that has now been seen millions of times, assaulting Loomer Unleashed DC correspondent Charles Downs. So let's just go ahead and play this video of Jasmine Crockett. I posted this video the other day. We were the first publication to post this video of her on this Tesla takedown call. Our video even received a response from Elon Musk himself because it is just this abhorrent and nothing's being done about it. You have to ask yourself, what's the point of having the majority and being in control of the House and the Senate if Republicans are just going to lay down and let these, DEI hires in Congress walk all over them and incite violence because they're black or they're Muslim or, they're ghetto. I don't know what the reason is, but Mike Johnson, I don't know, maybe he feels as a white male that he's going to be called a racist if he censures this loudmouth black woman, this very ratchet ghetto woman who behaves worse than a domesticated animal. I mean, honestly, I was talking today. I just got a puppy who's half black, and this dog has no respect for my house, and he's a puppy, of course, so he doesn't have a rabies shot. He shits all over the floor. His nails are very sharp, so he's scratching me. I mean, honestly, it's like Jasmine Crockett. Maybe I should just name this little black dog Crockett because, well, he's behaving kind of like Jasmine Crockett is behaving in Congress. Uncontrollable, disrespecting the house, right? Just like this dog is disrespecting the house. So I said in a post today, maybe I should name my dog Crockett. But I know that my dog is just in a puppy phase right now. And eventually my dog is going to grow up and he's not going to behave like an animal for the rest of his life. Eventually he's going to be fully domesticated and have manners, and he's going to learn not to shit in the house. But I cannot say the same for Jasmine Crockett. So let's go ahead and play this clip.
I'll make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes, I'll make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly.
All I want to see, I'm a finna bust a cap in his ass. I'm so sick of all these billionaires. My name is Jasmine Crockett, and I went to a rich-ass little prep school, a Catholic prep school, because, despite my little Section 8 hood rat, ghetto bitch attitude, I actually grew up in a pretty wealthy household growing up, but I just got to do all this rap girl, boothang bullshit so that all these little white men think that I'm some bad black bitch. Get out the way, homeboy. This is a real black bitch in Congress. She's the real queen in Congress. Move on over, Mike Johnson. I'm about to slap your ass silly, bitch. I mean, it's so ghetto. It's so trashy. It's so disgusting. As I said today, it's absolutely unbelievable that we have some ghetto bitch like Jasmine Crockett serving in the United States Congress who acts like she's some Section 8 welfare queen. And this is a woman who is supposed to be representing constituents in Texas. Unbelievable, just absolutely unbelievable behavior. And so joining me now to talk about how he was physically assaulted by this ghetto bitch, this crazy ghetto bitch with claws on her hand that she physically dug into the skin of my DC correspondent, Charles Downs, is Charles Downs himself. Charles, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Loomer Unleashed. I'm so sorry that you were attacked by the rabid zoo animal in Congress today. Perhaps you can tell us what happened and what led to this physical altercation with the congressional resident ghetto black bitch. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me, Laura. And I guess you could say I'm happy to take these shots for America. But there's been a crazy development, Laura. I know you've been on your show, but this is crazy. Guess who just came out and took our side? You won't believe this.
Oh God, I don't think I can handle any more surprises today. Today has been such a crazy day, and I'm genuinely interested.
People,
wow.
MTG,
wow.
I don't need to get a real job anymore. She called me an independent journalist. So,
wow, I remember when
last
she
year
told
I needed
you
to get a real job, but hey, now I'm an independent journalist.
Hey, I remember when you confronted Marjorie. I forget what you were confronting her about. Something that she did, something that she said, and she said, "Why don't you go get a real job?"
But it gets even crazier, Laura. MTG in the same post also said, I guess Jasmine's now walking around Congress with extra security provided for by us, the taxpayers. She has a special United States police, I guess, escort now.
Well, that's interesting. So she gets to have security while she attacks you. But hey, look, credit where credit's due. If Marjorie, maybe we can get that tweet pulled up because, I haven't seen it given the fact that I've been live.
But she talked about the security. It's crazy.
I guess we have to give credit where credit's due. If Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually coming out on the record and taking our side on this, then good for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because look, it's inexcusable violence, and it just looks like she wants to be one of these. When I say she, I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. She wants to be like this. I don't know, like this caricature, right? Like this ghetto boothang. Like, hey, look at me, I'm some gangsta black bitch, and I'm about to pop a cap in yo ass, and we're going to fight the white man and the patriarchy, and I'm about to go get my hair did, and, look at my nails. Like, she just talks like filth, she just doesn't know how to speak proper English. And I know that she actually does know how to speak proper English, because there are people who have actually done side-by-side videos of when she ran for Congress originally. And she was like, yes, hi, my name is Jasmine Crockett. I grew up Catholic, and I grew up in a black family. And, she's like talking like normal, trying to speak like a normal person as opposed to speaking Ebonics and like this, ratchet boot girl, like black girl power, black girl queen power, this vibe she's got going on. I don't even know what it is. But it's an act, right? Just like AOC is an actress. Jasmine Crockett is also an actress.
Yeah. So like, I guess y'all want some background information about how all this happened. So we were actually on the phone because I had a wonderful conversation with Rashida Tlaib, which will be out tomorrow, which happened right before this. And we were talking about that. And I'm like, oh, Laura, sweet. Here comes Jasmine Crockett. So this hallway, what has happened is in the Rayburn House office building. And this hallway is huge. Like, you could look straight down the hallway, see who's like coming down the hallway, and there will be like another 2 to 3 minutes before they reach your location either way. So, like, me and Crockett made, like I said, this is all opinion, but I'm pretty sure this is her mindset and all of this. So we made eye contact. So she knew who I was. Obviously, I knew who she was. She knew what was coming. So the phone comes up. She's walking down. She's, like, ignoring the question, but at the same time, I could tell she was listening. And she was going out of her way to talk to Rep. Burchett really loudly in an attempt to, like, say she didn't hear a question when it comes out, because that's what they do. Like, y'all remember during the
that's what's really interesting about
Dick
this.
Durbin did it all the time. When we asked Dick Durbin about the Epstein files, he was like, blah, 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 blah. It's like a tactic. So she's doing it.
That's what's really interesting about this, though, is that she's talking to Congressman Tim Burchett, and she's joking with him, and he's like very chummy with her. And so, Tim Burchett has always had positive interactions with us. I mean, he follows me online. So I just found it to be really weird that he'd be so chummy with her, like, oh, good luck, Jasmine, whatever he's talking to her about, if you watch the video. And he just sat there, and he doesn't appear to call her out or condemn her for physically assaulting you right in front of his face. And it's just interesting. Like, this is a woman who just got condemned nationally for calling for violence against Elon Musk and calling for domestic terrorism at Tesla locations across the country. And here you have Republican Tim Burchett just sitting there being chummy. And this is the problem with the Republican Party, right? Is, look, I know that Mike Johnson is basically Paul Ryan with the Bible, and everything is about, Christianity. And I'm not a Christian, and I know that he's like very focused on forgiveness and whatnot. But, at what point in time do we put these biblical principles of forgiveness aside and grace aside, and we say, okay, nobody actually is above the law. Like, we're going to actually hold you accountable for violence and for assault and for physically assaulting an American reporter in the halls of Congress. Like, you don't just get to govern our country by your own religious beliefs that everybody should be forgiven for their sins. Like, that's just not how it works. You don't just get to go, oh, somebody got physically assaulted, because one of these days somebody's going to get killed. Like, the violence is going to be so severe one of these days that somebody is actually going to get so badly injured to the point of being paralyzed or injured to the point of no return, or they're going to die. And so Mike Johnson needs to stop being so gracious and so forgiving, and he actually needs to rule with an iron fist, and he needs to start using his power as the Speaker of the House to censure people because he's too nice, or he's just like Tim Burchett, where they want to be chummy and they all want to be friends with the Democrats because, it's just kumbaya. Why don't we all just hold hands and sing kumbaya and forget about law and order, right? Because we just had to watch everybody say that Donald Trump is not above the law, and nobody's above the law over this last election season, where the courts were weaponized against Donald Trump over these bullshit accusations against Donald Trump. But when you have actual crimes committed by Democrats, assault, battery, attempted theft, nobody wants to hold anybody accountable. Imagine that.
And here's the craziest part, and here's more inside information on all this for y'all. This is how I know she planned this as she was walking down and we first made eye contact. So she is ignoring, talking loud with Burchett. And I'm just about to let her go. So like I turn at an angle and she's going to walk past me and then walk into her committee hearing. And then all of a sudden she goes, see the shit I got to put up with? So I go, oh, all right. So I'll ask you the question again. Will you condemn violence at Tesla? And then instead of answering, that's when she grabs the phone. And that's the most telling for everybody. She grabs the phone after I ask, will you condemn violence at Tesla dealerships? Honestly, her actions right there, that's worse than her saying, no, I don't condemn violence. Essentially, she is promoting violence, and that's why she did a violent act. She's trying to normalize violence against Trump and MAGA supporters.
And she's been doing it for a while. We have the video here, so why don't we just go ahead and play the video? Let's go ahead and play the clip.
Well, that sounds like.
Hello, Congresswoman.
Horse manure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett.
But it sounds.
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call
Yeah, well,
calling
yeah,
for violence on the
that's what it is
29th.
to be here, right?
Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman,
No,
will you
it's just-
condemn violence at the Tesla? Yeah, she really likes violence at Tesla, as you can tell. I guess she's
Yeah, she
all
does.
in
I
on
mean,
it.
she said it's all she wants. She wants Elon Musk to be taken out and taken down. And in this day and age where you have Luigi Mangione sycophants running around and they're calling for people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk to be eliminated like Julius Caesar. I mean, these are basically clear-cut calls for assassination. It's calls for vigilantism. That's what they're doing. And we have documented this. This is not a conspiracy theory. We have been going to these Tesla takedown events. You were at the one in Georgetown. You were at the one in Arlington, Virginia. And what did we find? We showed the videos, and we have the videos. We can even pull them up if we want to revisit the videos from the last few weekends. You had people there with the deny, defend, depose sign, which is exactly what Luigi Mangione wrote on the bullet casings when he shot and killed the United Healthcare CEO.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, Laura, we also have the Free Palestine, pro-Hamas rioters / mostly peaceful protesters running around Washington, D.C. now on a semi-nightly basis, screaming outside the White House, crazy chants, and supporting, I guess, radical Islamic piracy. So the left has really embraced most quality people who are in Washington, D.C. So ironic, the people who complained about January 6th and an insurrection for the last 4 years are now, I think you could make an argument, essentially trying to run their own insurrection. I mean, look, they brought violence into the halls of Congress today. They attacked the First Amendment, and they're amping up crazy protesters almost on a semi-nightly basis now. We got video footage of Maxine Waters speaking at a protest in D.C. at HUD, another place full of great unelected bureaucrats, by the way, that's sarcasm, speaking under a Kill Trump sign. They then flew the same Kill Trump sign outside the Department of Education last Friday, which we got, hosted by the Sunrise Movement, who did all those violent things at the Tesla showroom in New York City. And then we have Randy Weingarten, who is arguably just as powerful as any elected Democrat senator or congressperson, because she's a president of the American Federation of Teachers who, let's be honest, pays the elected Democrats. She's at the protest with the Sunrise Movement. So there's big
and then she lies and says, oh, it's been a perfectly peaceful protest. Okay, yeah, just 5 days earlier, they were at the Tesla showroom in the meatpacking district in New York City, breaking windows and throwing Molotov cocktails into windows.
And then it gets even crazier. And then we have the indivisible people who are connected with the Sunrise people. And we have members of Congress speaking at indivisible rallies across D.C. too. And they're involved in this Tesla takedown protest planning as well. As we've exposed, if you go to a lot of these Tesla takedown, I guess, web pages on mobilize.us, some of them have the invisible logo just flashing at the top of it. And it's just funny. It's just we're seeing a repeat of 2020. But I think it's 2020 on steroids, because the violence never really made it into the Congress in 2020. But the violence is making it into the Congress now. Jasmine Crockett is trying to normalize violence. Look what she's been doing in the last 72 hours. Attacking a Republican governor for being in a wheelchair, then saying multiple times that Ted Cruz needed to get whacked over the head. Then, after that video comes out, She literally knew who we were, made contact, my opinion. But I think she knew exactly what she was doing, because that's how she was like, oh, this shit. And basically attacked a journalist in Congress.
Not
She is trying
basically.
to normalize.
Not
She
basically.
did.
She actually did. She actually did. It's so funny too, because the Daily Beast, I think we have this article. They're like, oh,
Yes,
she
they were,
Laura
like,
Loomer
allegedly.
claims that Jasmine Crockett allegedly attacked her reporter. It's like, there's nothing alleged about it. It's literally on video. Charles, before we show that article and before we continue with our interview, I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's episode of Loomer Unleashed, Kirk Elliott Precious Metals. Don't let the green agenda tick you off and put you into a tailspin when you can take advantage of it. There is one commodity that is needed for solar power, battery power for electric vehicles, nuclear power, and it's a vital component in missiles, torpedoes, and aerospace. Silver is needed for all of that, and recent developments are creating an insurmountable problem for all of these industries. Physical silver is running out, and when it runs out, these manufacturers will pay almost any price and simply pass it on to the consumer or the taxpayer. What if you were the person that owned what they're going to need? You can be that person. How can you be that person? Well, by calling Kirk Elliott Precious Metals today to purchase physical silver. I've decided to partner with Kirk Elliott Precious Metals because Dr. Kirk cares about you. He's trustworthy, honest, and he educates you before you make a purchase to make sure that it's the right decision for you. He only deals with low-cost bullion that doesn't carry high premiums, and what I love is that physical metals can even be placed in your IRA. Call Dr. Kirk Elliott today at 720-605-3900, or you can schedule a call on kepm.com/Loomer. That's kepm.com/Loomer. They made a very nice landing page here for the viewers of Loomer Unleashed. Again, that's kepm.com/Loomer, kepm.com/Loomer, or call 720-605-3900. Get out of the system with one of the safest and most private assets in the world. Invest in precious metals today. You can call Kirk Elliott at 720-605-3900, or again, let them know that Laura Loomer sent you when you visit kepm.com/Loomer. Thank you, Dr. Kirk Elliott, for sponsoring this show and supporting free speech. Charles, I want to go ahead and play some of these videos because they're just so out of control. She's the most unhinged woman I've ever seen in Congress. Like I said, it's almost like she's auditioning to be, the most ghetto housewife, the ghetto housewives of Washington, D.C. She missed her calling for the ghetto housewives of wherever it is in Texas she's from. I don't know, but she doesn't belong in Congress. Like if she wants to if she wants to be a side piece in one of these rap videos, or I don't know. She's
not talented enough to do that. You're giving her too much credit, Laura.
Yeah, it's just trashy. It's trashy. I'd be so embarrassed if I had to be represented by some ghetto bitch in Congress that just sits there and literally cuts people with her claws, her nails, which are like, they're like Shaniqua nails. I hate to be stereotypical, but everybody knows what Shaniqua nails are. You ever see those women and, they just act ghetto, they dress ghetto, they talk ghetto, and they have nails that are like 10 inches long, and they're like usually working at McDonald's or working at some kind of like service job, whatever, and they're like trying to type on the cash register. It's like, that's gonna be $5.99, sir. Oh, hold on, I don't know how to do math, so let me finna put this in my calculator and find out how much change I owe you. Can I ask you a question? Like they can't even speak proper English and their nails are like 10 inches long. That's Jasmine Crockett. But unfortunately, we're living in some simulation hellscape where she's not working at McDonald's, but she's instead serving people in the United States Congress, unfortunately. I want to go ahead and play this clip of Jasmine Crockett calling Governor Abbott, Governor Hot Wheels. Now she's trying to say, I didn't do nothing. My name is Jasmine Crockett. I didn't do nothing.
She's a victim, Laura.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you say that I was disrespecting?
She was put down by the white man today,
disrespecting the man in the wheelchair. I wasn't talking about his wheelchair. I was talking about the migrant flags and the fact that he be putting these illegal aliens on buses and planes and automobiles. You feels me? How dare you disrespect me? Let me ask you a question. Do you really think that I would be disrespectful about a man in a wheelchair? It's ghetto. It's so ghetto. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey.
Texas streets.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
So yes, you best believe, bitch. You best believe, bitch.
He's a victim.
We finna pop a cap in his ass. You know, Governor Hot Wheels, I'm gonna roll your ass off this cliff. We gonna roll your ass off this cliff. You feels me? It's unbelievable.
Well,
I gotta go raise some more campaign money, so I finna get my nails done and put my weave in.
And run for president.
And if you want to criticize me, if you want to ask me a question, white boy, I'm gonna claw your ass. I'm gonna claw your ass, Charles. I'm gonna run for president. And if you don't want a powerful ghetto black independent woman who supports Marxism and open borders to be your president, then you're just a racist white man.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's her whole shtick.
Yeah, and she's gonna amp it up too. Like, we've talked about this. Here's my theory on all this, why she's doing this. I think she's trying to get kicked out of Congress on purpose, so then she can run for president in 2028 and say the racist white Trump and the Trump Congress kicked me out. I'm running against the racist institution, and sadly, the Democrat Party and their voters eat this shit up like it's candy. Because remember, for Democrats, fake racism is like their most favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, it's the currency that they trade in.
Racist story they could create? Poor old Jasmine Crockett getting kicked out of Congress because mean old white Greg Abbott and Ted Cruz and Charles Downs got in her way or something. And God knows who else she's going to attack tonight and tomorrow. She's on a warpath. And like I said, I think it's so she can get kicked out of Congress and she can run against those racist Republicans in 28 and raise a bunch of money for whichever black person they run in Michigan for the United States Senate in 2026. She'll go up there to go to Detroit to talk about how those racist Republicans kicked her out of Congress and they got to elect her homeboy or homegirl.
But that's the thing, though, is that she doesn't represent black people.
I wish I was joking, but this is what they're doing.
It is what she's doing, but it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because a lot of black people today called her out and they were like, she's so embarrassing because she thinks that, you know, she's a representative for black people when she's not. There are a lot of black people out there that know how to speak proper English. There are many black people in our country, believe it or not, who do not speak Ebonics. There are many black people in our country who don't walk around acting like some ghetto fabulous extra in a rap video.
Yes, and honestly, the Democrat Party, who's like kind of programming her to do all this, clearly they are, because the Daily Beast and a bunch of other stupid fake news outlets came out in support of her today. That they're mostly white people telling black people to act like this. So really, you're right. The black people in America are rightfully offended by this like complete other bullshit that a bunch of white elite liberals are telling people like Jasmine Crockett how to act. That's the game that's going on here.
I don't even understand who the audience is. Like, who is supposed
white
to
liberal
find that
women? That's the craziest
attractive?
part. That's the craziest part about all
thing.
this.
It's like, who finds this Ebonics like
women.
hood rat ratchet cosplay? I don't understand who finds Ebonics cosplay to be attractive. Like, is there any demographic of our society that finds ghetto fabulous cosplay to be anywhat attractive or appealing as a political strategy? I just don't know, like, which political consultant is sitting in a room somewhere and they're like, okay, you're going to act as ghetto as possible. You're going to pretend like you have a 3rd grade reading comprehension. You're going to get Shaniqua nails and you're going to have eyelashes that could basically serve as weapons because they're so long, and you're going to just go around attacking white men and pretend like you run the entire halls of Congress because you're just black. You're black and you can get away with any crime you want to get away with because black people can get away with anything they want to do here in America. Assault, robbery, murder, theft, embezzlement. And if Whitey's going to tell you that you're wrong, well, we're just going to call Whitey racist.
Oh, but you forgot the most important part. Then they tell people like Rev Crockett, but make sure to tell everyone not to come commit crimes in my elite Georgetown neighborhood, or my elite Arlington neighborhood, or my elite Beverly Hills neighborhood, or my elite Upper East Side neighborhood. Make sure you tell people not to go there. But other than that, encourage all the crimes you want.
Yeah.
And this is where it comes full circle, I think. The people who really like the Jasmine Crockett Act are the same wealthy, coastal elite, mostly white women who go to the Tesla dance party at the
They're like
Georgetown
white
Tesla
Karens.
on Saturdays. Yes, that is she's playing to. That's the craziest part in all of this. She's playing she's not even playing
they're
to
the
like
white
a
Karens that you saw
community.
this weekend when you were at Tesla, the ones that were dancing with the signs that said F these
Yes.
Nazi cars. We have the video actually. But before we play all those videos, because we're going to get into all the Tesla takedown stuff too, Charles, so hopefully you'll stick around for the full episode.
Oh, yes. That sounds great.
But let's go ahead and play these clips. Let's play the clip of Jasmine Crockett calling Governor Abbott Governor Hot Wheels. Now she's trying to pretend like she wasn't talking about his wheelchair. And then after that, after what we played this one, let's go ahead. Let's see. There's so many Jasmine Crockett clips. We have the Hot Wheels clip. We have the assault clip. Oh, here's the clip of Jasmine Crockett saying Ted Cruz needs to be knocked over the head. Let's go ahead and play that gem of a video. Clip number 19.
I
She's
think
such
that
a
you
wonderful
punch.
lady.
I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. You know, I think and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head like hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him. Like, at all. Like, you go clean off on him, right?
You go clean off. You knock his head right
You go
off.
clean off.
But
We
she's
finna
a victim.
pop a
She's
cap
a
in your
victim.
ass.
She's a victim.
Charles, what does that even mean in black speak? Can you please translate this Ebonics
I don't even
ghetto
know.
talk
That's
for
the
me?
craziest part. I think like these white consultants who tell her to act like this, they're not even speaking like, I guess, inner city correctly. They're just like telling her what they think inner city is. So like they're actually the biggest racists on the face of the planet if you think about it. Like, it's
I don't know what that
disgusting.
means. Maybe we can go to the chat and
Yeah.
somebody can tell me
I don't
what
know.
that
We should
means.
ask the DNC. They probably know what it means. Or like all those nice white consultants.
Does anybody know what going clean off means? Does anybody know what that means to go clean off? What does that even mean? Also, too, can we talk about her lazy eye? I mean, just honestly, look at how lazy her
this?
eye is. Yeah.
Like it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's like half shut. I thought I don't know. I thought she was experiencing bad allergies this morning.
I know for a
guess
woman
that's not the
for a
case. Maybe
woman
I was
who
too
has
nice.
for a woman who has one of the worst weaves I've ever seen, some of the nastiest, longest eyelashes I've ever seen, and the weirdest looking lazy eye, she sure talks a lot of shit. Like
Yeah, I know.
you probably should not be talking that much shit if you have a lazy eye that looks like that. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that if you have a lazy eye that's that prominent, you should probably be a little bit more cognizant and self-aware of the shit that comes out of your mouth.
Really speaks to the talent pool in the Democrat Party right now. Guess they got no talent. If this is who the DNC and the DC thinks is their savior and are promoting on The View and all these other crazy shows. Rachel Maddow every night. It's insane. They think Jasmine Crockett, look it up, could be the presidential nomination of the Democrat Party. And like
really
I said,
do. They want to run her.
I think the DNC is telling her to get kicked out on purpose. Like we have no proof of this. This is just like based off the interactions, based off how she's acting, based off how people like the Daily Beast came out in support of her, like right away. Like they had the talking points ready to go. I think there's a lot of people who want to make her president, big money, and they're like, get kicked out of Congress and run on that. Run on getting kicked out, and you're the victim.
Yeah, we have that
and look what
article.
she's doing tonight. She's already playing the victim. Supposedly, according to a member of Congress, walking around with extra security. Like, she's the victim. After she encourages people to go knock a senator's head off, after she assaults a journalist and makes fun of a governor in a wheelchair, she is running around right now on your tax dollars, by the way. Like, United States Capitol Police are funded by you. We're paying for those extra security on her. We're all paying for it.
Let's go ahead and
She's
get those
running
articles up too, because it is kind of incredible. It is It's kind of incredible to see how the Daily Beast tried to make her out to be a victim and tried to run cover for her today, acting like, oh, allegedly she attacked some reporter. Let's get the Daily Beast article up because it just shows you just how out of control the press is. Laura Loomer makes bizarre assault claim against Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, because Laura Loomer is just a crazy conspiracy theorist, you guys. And even though it's on video and everybody can see the fact that she literally assaulted my employee, it's a conspiracy. It's a bizarre accusation, you guys, because you can't see anything with your own eyes and you can't hear anything with your own ears. We need the left-wing media and the Democrats. We need an independent Black woman to translate everything that we see and everything we hear in front of our own eyes and ears, because we're just so incapable of perceiving reality on our own, you guys. It was alleged. It's a bizarre claim. It's bizarre. You didn't actually witness Jasmine Crockett physically assault Charles Downs. Let's go ahead and play the video again. Let's play the video. Let's play the video. Let's play the video again so you can watch this racist Jewish Zionist conspiracy on your mind. It's a Zionist trick, you guys. She's actually trying to make you believe. She's trying to make you believe that you're not actually witnessing an assault. It's make believe, you guys. It's alleged. Let's play the clip.
Hello, Congresswoman.
Horse manure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett.
But it sounds.
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call
Yeah, well,
calling
yeah,
for violence on the
that's what it is
29th.
to be here, right?
Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman,
No,
will you
it's just-
condone violence at the Tesla?
I love the gaslighting.
Racist conspiracy never happened. Racist, Nazi,
It's alleged.
Zionist.
It's a bizarre claim, you guys. Go back to the Daily Beast article. It's a bizarre claim. It never happened. Laura Loomer is just imagining things. She's crazy. That Laura Loomer, she's a little schizophrenic. She's just always imagining things, right? Because, yeah, she told you it was assault, but it's not assault, even though we all witnessed it. It's just so crazy how they get away with this. It's unbelievable. It's just so unbelievable, unbelievable, as I like to say, how you can literally watch some ghetto congresswoman assault somebody on camera and they try to gaslight you into thinking that it's make believe, you guys. It never happened.
It never happened.
It never happened, okay?
It was some QAnon Nazi conspiracy.
It's just a QAnon Nazi conspiracy, you guys.
That's all. But no, what's crazy is they didn't even run with Crockett's statement on it because her statement was so absurd. You would think they would make that the headline, like crazy Laura Loomer reporter impedes Rep Crockett according to her post. No. Her post was so out of control. Not even the Daily Beast could make it their headline.
Well, we have another article too from Raw Story. Raw Story was like, oh, he's pressing charges because it was alleged assault. I don't understand why they're trying to justify it or trying to act like it's not worthy of an assault charge or having some kind of police report filed. And you did file a police report today, correct?
Yeah. And I sent you we have the screen recording of me hitting submit, did it on the U.S. Capitol Police website. Interesting, I guess, little development too, to talk more about it is there were 2 United States Capitol Police officers after the incident. They were superb. They did a fantastic job. But there was one who wanted to basically take my ID and run it, make sure I wasn't some criminal, which I obviously am not. But he tried to say I impeded her too, which was real weird because the other 2 officers were no, you did not impede her, despite the video evidence. And I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And they're like I said, pretty difficult about filing the report, taking a long time. All I had to say was go to the website. But no.
So they were trying to be oppositional, and they were trying to be very difficult when you were filing your.
And they were doing this as a member of Congress, Rep Crockett, was tweeting out statements saying I impeded her. That's a serious accusation coming.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get Jasmine Crockett's tweet up too, because she actually lied about what went down. That's what's really interesting too, is how some people are calling her out for it, but there should really be more condemnation. Do we have that tweet? Can we get that tweet up of Jasmine Crockett? Because she's trying to act like Tim Burchett, who is a Republican member of Congress. It's just so insane to me. is on her side, and she's trying to gaslight people into making it sound like, oh, Rep Burchett was actually trying to block this crazy radical reporter who was invading my personal space. Oh, it was just so awful. He was so threatening to me. So thank you so much to my colleague, Tim Burchett. Here we go. This morning, an individual attempted to, she can't even speak English. This morning, an individual attempted to invade personal safety for a soundbite. Like, she's so ghetto, she can't even like formulate a basic sentence. Thank you to my colleague, Rep. Tim Burchett, for putting himself in between me and the individual to ensure I made it to committee. In a time of division, he put respect and safety first, and I appreciate it. It's like unbelievable, so low IQ, can't even spell check her own tweets. Can't even speak proper English, can't even behave like a civilized individual, behaves worse than a rabid animal with rabies, acting like some wild animal free at the zoo.
She thinks it's like Lion King in Congress or something. I don't know. But here's what gets even crazier is Tim Burchett around like 4 o'clock today made some cryptic X post where he's like, this is how I deal with oppositional media, and it shows him talking with a Democrat reporter like nice
they're
and calm.
acting like we're
Well,
trackers.
it's just really weird.
They're acting like we're trackers. How is that not a legitimate question? It was the subject of all the mainstream media news coverage after they decided to steal our video because, oh yeah, that's right, none of them were in the Tesla takedown video chats like we were. We were the only media publication that recorded the entire call and clipped it and posted it and had all this informative information. Okay, working away, slaving away on the weekends. Like, I don't even remember the last time we took a day off because we're the ones that are in these chats and we're the media publication that's getting all this content out there. And then they're like, oh, they're so antagonistic. Like, what are we supposed to do? Just not ask her why she decided to incite violence against Elon Musk and why she decided to incite violence at these Tesla takedowns? They're acting like what we're doing is gadfly behavior when we're just asking questions, right? Or asking questions. We be asking questions. We be asking questions. Yeah, we be asking because we finna talk to Jasmine, so we finna ask a question, not ask a question. We finna ask, right? Because we can't speak proper English, we gotta speak Ebonics, because we're dealing with Jasmine Crockett. We finna ask a question about why she's inciting violence against Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, and then it's really funny too that Manu from CNN literally does the same exact thing we do, except he just asks it to Republicans. He just walks around on their senators or congressmen's side, same spot as they're walking into a committee hearing. But that's like award-winning journalism, according to the left. But when we do the same thing, it's harassment.
I know, it's so funny, isn't it?
I guess racism. It's racism too. Like,
they love saying that we're a problem and that we're antagonistic, but then CNN basically copies all our questions. We got there early in the morning because Charles calls me in the morning. So this is how it goes down. So Charles will call me and then he'll be like, okay, this is the committee hearing today, or we'll plan it, the night before, and I'll write the questions. And then we'll go back and forth and we'll go over questions together. So Charles will come up with questions, I'll come up with questions, and we make a list of like the people who we want to confront. So Charles will say, okay, this person's on the committee today, or I'll say, when can we find this individual? And so we make targets of who we want to confront, and then we look at the schedule and we try to map it out so that we can get as many people as possible, right? So Charles and I this morning were on the phone after we were going over the question for Rashida. He calls me and he's like, oh, I just got Rashida Tlaib, which we haven't posted that video yet. We went over the question for Ilhan Omar the other day. And then while we're on the phone going over the scripting question for Jasmine Crockett, he sees Jasmine Crockett and he runs after her. So like, this is all we do. We're real journalists, and we're actually like asking real questions, and we're usually there before any of the other media. And then when they're walking in, they hear our questions, and then the reporters act like, oh, it's just Laura Loomer, her publication, whatever, right? They're just a bunch of conspiracy theorists, white nationalists. And then as soon as the other reporters get in front of these politicians after, we first flank them, They ask the same exact questions we ask, and then the media is like, oh, wow, going to Peter Doocy or going to Aisha Hosni or going to Manu, whatever the hell his name is. And they try to act like these people are asking questions that are so revolutionary and so amazing while they are so dismissive of the questions that we're asking. So it's just very funny to me how we're the ones that are actually busting our ass coming up with the questions that are gaining interest, and then these other entities and outlets just steal our questions and steal our work. And then the media acts like they're so amazing, and then they just shit all over Loomer Unleashed. That's basically the story of our lives here at Loomer Unleashed.
Yeah, that's basically how Capitol Hill works in a nutshell. And then, yeah, now we're racist because, asking a black Congress lady who has spoken white, I guess you could say, her whole life. And now she's ghetto. And now we're racist because we dare question her after she encourages violence at Tesla dealerships. How awful, racist, and unbecoming of us, Laura.
We have another clip of her talking about how President Trump needs a good black woman in the room. Yeah, because, because what President Trump needs is ghetto ass Jasmine Crockett advising him. Yeah, because, Trump can't governor on his own. He's got to get some ratchet hood rat. Yeah, I can't even speak proper English now because I'm so used to speaking Ebonics live on air, trying to imitate Jasmine Crockett that it is impacting my own speech right now. But this is a really funny video. Let's go ahead and play this clip of Jasmine Crockett saying that Donald Trump needs a good black woman in the room.
And then y'all want to come at us and act like people of color are the problem or that women are the problem? Like, baby, you probably need a good black woman in the room who can check you and tell you that, first of all, you shouldn't be doing this shit on Signal or anything else.
Like, baby, you need a good black woman to come in your room and make you some food and tell you, that you shouldn't be talking on that Signal chat. You should be talking to me.
Yeah,
you should be talking to me because girlfriend.
But no, Laura, she doesn't. No, you're giving her too much credit. She bends her neck awkwardly, like this. That's why I've been doing that, guys. Like,
child, please. I can't believe these Trump staffers. I can't believe these Trump staffers finna talk on the Signal chat. If you're not on Signal, then you're not doing it right, honey, because that's the place where we be having all our secret conversations. That's another thing she said, too, when she was speaking at this event the other day. I don't know if we have the clip of her, but she was talking about how, child, please, if you ain't on Signal, you're not doing it right. Like, talking about how you should be deceptive and use Signal to hide your messages and to orchestrate all of your illegal activities. That's essentially what she was saying and encouraging when she was speaking to this organization that promotes homosexuality all over the world. I don't know if we have that clip. She does want
everyone to take down Tesla in her honor, so I would have my conversations.
I think we have the clip, actually. It's kind of telling. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
One day, and we have all these Signal chats. If you don't have Signal, get on Signal, okay? Do not trust that. Get on Signal, y'all. One day, and we have all these Signal chats. If you don't have Signal, get on Signal, okay? Do not trust that. Get on Signal, y'all.
Get on Signal, y'all. We're going to burn a bunch of Teslas to the ground on my birthday, so make sure it doesn't track back to me. Because, I'm not going, you guys know, so here's the most messed up part in all this. And any leftist activist listening to Laura's show, because I know a lot of people on the left like to hate watch you, Laura. Guys, I'm speaking to you directly right now. You're not going to get bailed out like Jasmine Crockett gets bailed out. Likely nothing's going to happen to Jasmine Crockett. Sadly, that's just how it works. She's a black lady, Democrat member of Congress, the DEI, DC. They're not going to do shit. All right. But people who think, oh, I can go throw a Molotov cocktail at a Tesla dealership because Jasmine Crockett is running around assaulting journalists in the halls of Congress and threatening senators and nothing happens to her and nothing's going to happen to me. That's not how it's going to work, guys. So don't do it. They're literally trying to pawn you into doing something stupid. And if you don't believe me, look up all the Antifa BLM rioters who literally got charged for their crimes at a later date. Don't go ruin your life and go rioting because Jasmine Crockett makes it seem like it's cool. It makes it seem like it's legal. you're not Jasmine Crockett, so you're not going to get away with it. So don't do it. But yeah, that's the other important message out of all this. And shame on the Democrats for, I guess, encouraging people to act like this.
Any last words or comments? I know that you're quite a sensation today on the internet. I saw Congresswoman Nancy Mace called out Jasmine Crockett. Pretty much every conservative content creator and every conservative influencer was sharing the video today calling Jasmine Crockett out for assaulting you. And I don't know if we can get Nancy Mace's tweet pulled up here, but Congresswoman Nancy Mace actually said that if she could be of assistance to you, I think she actually invited you to come to her office tomorrow to speak with her about Jasmine Crockett assaulting you. So hopefully we'll actually see some action from these House Republicans to hold Jasmine Crockett accountable instead of just bitching and complaining. Like, I'm kind of tired of watching everybody go on Sean Hannity and complain and talk about the violence and complain. And every day it's like the same bullshit, right? Everybody wants to complain. Everybody wants to, whine about all of the violence, but nobody's actually doing anything. Like, what's the point of having Trump in the White House and having, Republicans in control of the House and the Senate if Republicans are just going to sit back and let these Democrats incite violence? Like, why not censure these people? I just don't understand why the Republicans never want to use power when they have it. I'm not talking about President Trump, of course, but they're so timid. We have Trump in the White House and the Republicans have control of the House and the Senate. Like, what are these people so scared of? I don't understand. Is Mike Johnson thinking he's just going to pray about it and she's just going to wake up and not be ghetto? Is he hoping that he's just going to, pray that Jasmine Crockett's not going to be attacking people and inciting violence? Like, how long are we just going to sit there and pray on this matter before we actually take action?
I mean, they really should kick her out of Congress because it'd be actually pretty beneficial if she's the face of the Democrat Party in the 26 midterms and becomes a 28 nominee. And then she gets removed from Congress, and that would maybe open some people's eyes, maybe I'm not going to go firebomb this Tesla showroom today because maybe I'll be held accountable for my actions. Maybe that's not a good idea. So that's really what I think the House Republicans should do. They need to make an example because what she is doing is trying to encourage people to do stupid things like firebomb Tesla showrooms because, Jasmine Crockett gets away with it, so why can't I? And it's the same exact playbook they did in 2020. Remember when Nancy Pelosi was like, people will do what they do when she was asked about the riots in Baltimore, or when Maxine Waters was like, get up in their faces in her Jasmine Crockett language. It's the same thing. So we can't allow history to repeat itself. So they need to take action, and they need to kick her out of Congress. If George Santos can get kicked out of Congress, Jasmine Crockett can get kicked out of Congress too.
Absolutely. I want to go ahead and play the response video that you had. And then we also have a screen record video of the police report that you filled out so that people can actually see the photographic evidence of the police report that you submitted today, so that it's on the record publicly here that a police report has been filed and we are waiting to see what's going to happen. I mean, Jasmine Crockett should be charged with assault, in my opinion. The House Republicans should be calling on Jasmine Crockett to be charged with assault. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
It is disgusting that a member of Congress, much less a well-known member of Congress like Jasmine Crockett, chose to assault me after I asked her if she would condemn violence at Tesla showrooms. It has become clear that elected Democrats and their never anti-Trump protesters seem to be embracing violence, and that is disgusting. Any elected Democrat appalled like I am by the left's new tactics has an obligation to speak out against Representative Crockett and those causing violence at Tesla. They have an obligation. Republicans in the House have an obligation now to censure Representative Crockett. This behavior in this building behind me cannot go on. The halls of Congress are meant for debate, not physical violence. Shame on Jasmine Crockett and shame on congressional Democrats.
Yeah, I agree with everything. Yeah, I agree with everything that you said there. And then Before you leave, I want to play the video of the screen recording of the police report that you filed today. Capitol Police made you fill it out online. I don't know why they wouldn't just let you fill it out on a piece of paper, but apparently now you have to fill out police reports online, and you have to beg the police to let you fill out a police report.
And you're the criminal too before it happens. That's
yeah, they tried to act like you were the criminal, and they tried to act like you were in the wrong, and you had to practically beg them to let you fill out a police report. So let's go ahead and play the screen recording here. Personal information muted, or blurred out rather, so you can see it here. This is the form you had to fill out. Let's go ahead and get Nancy Mace's tweet up too. So you're going to go see Congresswoman Nancy Mace tomorrow, right? Because she tweeted.
Yeah,
we have her
stop
tweet,
by and
actually.
say hello.
So let's go ahead and get Nancy Mace's tweet up here. We have Nancy Mace. Let's see. Let me know how I can assist. As someone who was assaulted at the Capitol last year, I can tell you violence has no place here or anywhere. So Nancy Mace knows what it's like to be assaulted at the Capitol. Capitol Police didn't really seem to do much there, too. So you're going to go see Nancy Mace tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, I definitely will. The left, of course, is protesting outside the Capitol at like 10 a.m. So I'll go see what they're up to over there. Maybe we'll see some more deranged elected Democrats. Ask them about Tesla. They're going to love it. But yeah, after that, I'll definitely stop by and say hello and talk with her. She's been really fantastic through all this. And she's actually like standing for something that's really important. It can't become the norm where members of Congress, Republican or Democrat, just hit a journalist camera and assault them because they're being asked a question that they don't like. That is literally how society breaks down, and how I personally believe we get full-on communism, because once free speech dies in the halls of Congress, there's no more free speech anywhere else. It's like a domino effect. So Nancy Mace is standing for something really important right now. So
yeah, it looks like Marjorie called it out. I mean, to my shock. I mean, look, she's attacked us before.
I don't need to get a real job anymore, according to her. That's remarkable.
Yeah. It's funny how she'll call you a journalist now, but then she told you that you need to get a real job. Let's go ahead and get Marjorie's tweet up, actually. I mean, look, at least she's calling it out, but it is kind of funny how, you know, when we're asking her questions, she says that you're a troll, and then she calls me crazy and tells Trump not to hire me, right? But then now you're a journalist all of a sudden when it's to her benefit. Tonight, I saw an entitled Jasmine Crockett with a new Capitol Police escort walking through the already protected halls of Congress. This comes after today she assaulted an independent journalist who was asking if she condemns violence. So at least Marjorie, I mean, look, you have to give credit where credit's due. But
she reported on like your
Marjorie knows, okay? Too. Marjorie knows the things that she said about me are false, okay? She knows that the things that she said about me are not true. And as somebody who used to be friends with Marjorie, and, you know, we used to be on good terms, she knows that I'm a decent person. She knows that I'm not crazy. She knows that everything she said about me is completely false. I don't know why all of a sudden, you know, she's decided to have this vendetta against me, but at least she had enough, you know, integrity tonight to call this out as it relates to what happened to you. But, you know, it's just interesting because, you know, first she says, oh, Laura's not a real journalist, and, oh, you know, Laura's crazy, and, oh, Laura's mentally ill. And now all of a sudden we're journalists. Now we're journalists, you know, now we're the good guys, Charles, you know, after she sabotaged my employment with Trump, right? Interesting.
Well, I guess congratulations to Jasmine Crockett for, I guess, empowering us even more. That racist Laura Loomer and Charles Downs, thanks to her.
Yeah.
And who knows? Remarkable day.
Charles, where do people follow you? I know that you're going to be busy tomorrow up on Capitol Hill asking questions, confronting more members of Congress. So stay tuned.
Oh,
where
yeah,
do people...
they're protesting tomorrow. Of course.
Yeah. Tell us about the
Tomorrow's
protest.
a welcome back to Congress protest.
Tell us about the protest schedule tomorrow. What's going on tomorrow?
Oh, they have it Tuesday and Wednesday. It's like no tax for billionaires, and just running around I guess, congressional lawn in the very front again. They'll all be holding their signs. F Trump, F Musk, a bunch of federal employees and Free Palestine people. Because, you know, the federal employees, it's too stressful for them to go to work for President Trump. So they got to go protest. It's the only thing they can do these days. Those poor federal employees who can get fired on purpose and so afford Washington, D.C., such a hard life they have, those people will be marching around with a bunch of clown show elected Democrats acting like they're victims. Just like Jasmine Crockett tonight. Everyone in the left's a victim because, I guess, racism and MAGA, they're all victims, Laura. It's a truly pathetic sight to see. But yeah, everyone follow me at the Charles Downs on X and Truth and all that fun stuff. Same handle, the Charles Downs. And yeah, we'll have more fun exposing these idiots known as congressional Democrats.
For your courage and your bravery, I'm gonna have to start giving you hazard pay after you getting clawed with all those nails. You're gonna have to go get a tetanus shot or maybe go get a rabies shot.
I know, right?
Yeah, I gotta get hazard pay.
Foaming at the mouth and stuff, like, we know what happened. Probably like go missing and I'm foaming or something. It's Jasmine's fault.
Yeah, who knew that one of the hazards of working for Loomer Unleashed was going to be getting attacked by rabid animals?
I know, right? In Congress.
In Congress, of all places.
Wild times.
You didn't even have to go to the zoo.
No, they bring it to you. That's the craziest part about Washington, D.C.
They bring the zoo to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charles, keep up the great work. We're very grateful that you're such a dedicated and loyal, hardworking member of my team. And you have some articles coming out about this as well. Where can people go read these articles?
Oh, yeah. Check it out on your website, lauraloomer.com. So, and obviously it'll be on your X handle and my X handle and the Loomer Unleashed X and Truth handles too. So
yep, you can read these articles
some really
on
insightful articles
loomer.com.
about Jasmine and all her connections to all these wonderful groups who want to, I guess, like firebomb Teslas on Saturday. So
Absolutely.
Only the highest quality people now associate themselves with the Democratic Party. Only the best.
Well, Charles, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. Keep up the great work.
Thanks.
Unbelievable. But Charles is doing a fantastic job, so be sure that you follow him and also subscribe to his account on X at the Charles Downs. I want to take a moment to thank the second sponsor of tonight's episode of Loomer Unleashed, and that, of course, is the Licorice Guy. I love licorice. Indulge in the sweet, old-fashioned goodness of licorice with the Licorice Guy, a family-owned business that's been perfecting this classic treat for over a decade. They offer a range of traditional and fun flavors, all made with care and shipped fresh to your door. Whether you're a lifelong licorice lover or you're just craving something unique, the Licorice Guy has you covered with their premium quality and unbeatable taste. It's so delicious that you can taste the difference. Right now, you can stock up on sweets and save big, especially before Easter. Easter's coming up, and you definitely want to get licorice and all types of candies. They have bright colored licorice, different colors, black, red, green, blue. Every single color licorice you can imagine they have. And so I personally think that licorice is going to make a great gift for Easter. If you have children or you want to decorate for Easter and you want to make baskets, they make great tasty treats, and it's pretty delicious. I keep it here in my desk here when I do my Loomer Unleashed shows. And I've talked about how the black licorice is my favorite. You can see the big bags. I keep it here because I accidentally ripped the bag the other day. It's a pretty big bag. The pieces are pretty big as well. See here? It's late. I try to do my intermittent fasting, so it's important to stay thin. But I like showing you guys that I actually do eat and consume the products that I promote here on Loomer Unleashed. I'm never going to promote a product for you or to you that is low quality or, some kind of gimmick. So I like licorice. I get my licorice from the Licorice Guy. As I said before, black is my favorite. Red is my second favorite. But hopefully you can all enjoy a nice tasty treat of licorice by going to thelicoriciguy.com/discount/Laura. That's licoriceguy.com/discount/Laura. licoriceguy.com/discount/Laura. And when you use code Laura at checkout, you can get 15% off your entire order. Or you can just click the link in the description below to have your discount applied. I told myself that I was going to work out today, which I did, but now I'm eating licorice at 11 o'clock at night. So much for that. You can see here on their website, they have fruity twists, black licorice. Let's scroll down, go through all the different flavors people can see. Those are their best sellers. They have 3 packs. And the pieces are really big. It's not like they're little tiny pieces. You get a lot of licorice in a 3-pack. When you buy licorice from licoriceguy.com, each purchase supports a small American business committed to quality and craftsmanship. And when you use my code, Laura, at checkout, not only do you get 15% off, but you're also supporting the sponsorship of my show, Loomer Unleashed. So head on over to licoriceguy.com/discount/Laura, grab your favorite flavors, and join me in backing some of the hardworking people who keep our country thriving. Let's go to the chat. I need an excuse to finish eating this piece of licorice, so put your questions and your comments in the chat. I got so many comments too. We've sold so much licorice since Licorice Guy decided to be a sponsor. And people always tell me that they like it. A lot of people are ordering the licorice from Licorice Guy. Let's see. Oh my God. Honestly, like, why do we have downers in the comment section? Laura, you could be liable for sending your employee into such a hazardous work environment. It's not like I send my staff into these situations so that they can get attacked by ghetto members of Congress who behave worse than wild animals. Give me a break. I would never intentionally put one of my own staff members in a dangerous situation. Laura, I just started the stream from the beginning and I love it. How much sugar does the licorice have? 8 grams of sugar. It doesn't taste super sweet. It's sweet enough. I mean, obviously it's not healthy to eat sweets every day, but you know, if you want to have sweet, I like licorice. I like it. Any comments about Jasmine Crockett? You can scroll up, actually. We missed a lot of the comments. By the way, if you do want to support our work here at Loomer Unleashed, you can subscribe either on X or by clicking the Get Loomered button here on my Rumble channel. That will take you to my locals page, loomer.locals.com. And then you could subscribe for $7 a month, $70 a year, or you can make a one-time donation as well. Go back to the super chat. Oh, someone said, talk about your new dog. So I went to a dog, well, you all know, if you've been watching my show for a while now, that I do a lot of work to help animal rescues. I love animals and I don't have a lot of free time. And so when I do have free time, I use it to get my exercise and I also use it to help animals. So there's a wonderful animal rescue in South Florida called Furry Friends Animal Rescue. And I rescued a blind dog from Furry Friends several months ago during the tornadoes and Hurricane Milton, because the tornadoes ended up destroying the animal shelter and they needed these dogs and these animals to be adopted or fostered immediately. So I agreed to foster this disabled dog that nobody wanted. And I loved him so much that I ended up just adopting him. And so fast forward, I got invited to the Furry Friends Wags to Riches Gala at Mar-a-Lago. where they have a really big event and they invite all these like really big donors and they auction off items to raise money for the animals. And I was walking into the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago and the Furry Friends staffers had all these animals out for show, right? Because they're also hoping that people will adopt the dogs when they bring them. And they had the cutest little Shih Tzu poodle. Oh my God, he was so cute. I think he's sleeping right now. Maybe I can go grab him really quick from the other room and show you. He's so cute. I haven't even named him yet. He's the cutest little dog. Anyway, he's 3 months old and he's a Shih Tzu poodle. And so I had this impulsive decision and I immediately just, was like, oh my God, I want the dog. So after the event, I packed up all my stuff and then I drove to the Furry Friends animal shelter because I was out of town. And I flew back with him. So I had to buy a dog crate last minute before my flight. Like literally, I did this all within the span of 12 hours of my flight. It was such an impulsive decision, but he's so cute. He's the cutest little Shih Tzu poodle. So now I have 4 dogs, believe it or not. I have 4 amazing animals. I don't know what to name him though. So perhaps you guys can give me some suggestions on what I can name him. He's in the other room. I can't just go grab him right now. I'd have to pause my show, but I'll bring him on the show. He's so, so cute. Definitely put some names in the chat, what you think I should name him. I was joking today. I was like, oh, maybe I should name him Crockett. I posted a photo of him. Let's actually get the photo of him. I posted a photo of my dog on X earlier today. He's half black and he's half white. I was joking about naming him Crockett. There he is. He's so cute. There he is. He's super tiny. He's 3 months old. I still have to potty train him one of these days. I want to get a dog cam. So I want to get a dog cam because my dogs actually watch my show when I go live. So I have this little den area where I live and I have it covered in blankets so that all my dogs can just sleep in the den. And I put the big screen TV on so that, when I'm doing my show, my dogs can actually watch me live. So it's so cute because they're all actually there and they line up in a row, all 3 of them. Now I have 4. And it's hilarious because by the time my show ends, all 3 of them are still there laying next to each other. Loomer, Mecca, Bo, and they're staring at the TV. So they actually watch my show live, believe it or not. Go back to the chat, see what people are saying. The other dogs like him very much. Thank you so much for asking. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? There's so much to talk about. Oh, I launched my own consulting firm too. So I'm now going to be doing opposition research for hire. My company is called Loomer Strategies. Let's go ahead and play the clip too, because for a long time now, I've wanted to have my own opposition research firm. As many of you know, I do investigative reporting, but I'm also just very good at research. And I figured, why not? Why not start having my services be available for hire? Because I offer a service. And so I now have my firm. It's called Loomer Strategies, and it's your go-to bipartisan firm for executive level vetting, opposition research, intelligence, rapid response, and your opponent's worst nightmares. I want to go ahead and play the clip that I had made as the premiere, the grand opening of Loomer Strategies.
This woman is amazing. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
The great Laura Loomer.
Miss Loomer. Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Loomer. Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer.
That's a woman with courage. You don't want to be Loomered. If you're Loomered, you're in deep trouble. That's the end of your career in a sense.
So definitely be sure that you're following my new company account, Loomered Strat. It's Loomered Strategies, and the X handle for that is Loomered Strat. See, we have a lot more to talk about tonight. All the Jasmine Crockett stuff. Let's go ahead and show the new list of all the Tesla takedown events. We have this weekend on Saturday, they're going to have the global day of action for these Tesla takedowns. So we've actually been calling all of this out and making a list of all of the different Tesla takedown events that are happening. And you can follow our community on X that I created. It's called the Tesla Takedown Watchdog, and it has all of the information about all of the different Tesla takedowns. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the leading source for all of the Tesla takedown information. I mean, I had like 6 reporters today call me just today. I had a reporter from the New York Post. I had a lot of people call me inquiring about the information that we have gathered in our Tesla Takedown Watchdog community. So it's definitely a great source of information for the media and for the public and for Tesla owners, for Elon Musk, really for anybody who wants to follow our community to get information about our journalism and our investigations into the organizers of these events. There was actually a really funny incident that happened the other day. Loomer Unleashed contributor CCP Skip Tracer decided to go cover the Tesla takedown event in Manhasset, New York. And when he got there, he noticed that the organizer, Christopher Lee, was a Chinese national. And he followed him to his car after the protest, and he got inside a Tesla. I think we have this tweet. We could pull it up. It's just so ridiculous because, like, imagine being so absurd that you talk about how, oh, you know, I hate Elon Musk, and oh, Tesla's so awful. Oh, we have to boycott Tesla. And then you're rolling up in a Tesla. It's just unbelievable. These liberals, these Marxists, these protesters are some of the most retarded people you're ever going to see in your life. Look at that. He literally showed up in a Tesla. That's a Tesla. That's a Tesla Model 3. Like, how stupid can you be? These people don't even commit to the stuff that they're claiming they're protesting. Like, imagine telling everybody, Tesla's so evil, Tesla's so bad, oh my God, get rid of your Tesla, and then showing up to your own protest against Elon Musk and Tesla in a Tesla. There's this account on Twitter, it's actually really funny, it's called I Find Retards. I Find Retards. I tagged the I Find Retard account, and I said, hi, I Find Retard, I think I found one for you. And he said, you sure did. Here we go, Retard Finder. It's actually a really funny account. A lot of people are retweeting this account. So, it's pretty funny. Let's see, we have a lot of videos from these Tesla takedown events that happened. They were actually dressed up having a dance party. Our videos have gone so viral. These videos have received millions of views. Let's go ahead and play the clips of the women dancing at the Georgetown Tesla takedown just outside of Washington, D.C. This is what the Democrats have resorted to. This is their base. It's a bunch of white coastal elite women who are spending their weekends protesting Elon Musk. There's several of these clips, so we could just go ahead and play them back to back, and you could just see how deranged these people are. There's going to be over 200 of these identical protests. Many of them are violent, though, at all the different Tesla locations and supercharger locations across the country. And after we play these videos for you, we'll show you the list that we compiled, and we exclusively released tonight, exclusively compiled this list that has all the different Tesla takedown events that we are aware of momentarily. And of course, you know, this list can change because there could be more events. We've identified at least 175 of these Tesla takedown events that are scheduled to take place over these next over this next weekend, March 29th, which happens to also be Jasmine Crockett's birthday. How could we forget, right? She only said it a million times on that phone call. So we're going to be compiling more information. And if you find more information about these Tesla takedown events, we encourage you to message us on the Loomer Unleashed account. Our DMs are open. And you can also follow our open source community, Tesla Takedown Watchdogs. So go ahead and watch these videos.
Slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do, so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move, so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks. This and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I'm a roast, I can...
It's absolutely deranged behavior. They're violent people as well. We have another video of them over the weekend holding a poster outside of the Department of Education, encouraging President Trump to be killed. The sign actually said, "Trump die." Maybe it's just a photo of it. Either way, let's go ahead and show clip number 4.
Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm a journalist.
I have something more legal on the backside.
Are you a lawyer?
Everybody becomes a lawyer now. It's happening in the US. Everybody needs to be.
Oh, nice. Are you like a federal employee lawyer?
No, I'm not even a citizen. I'm just a concerned world citizen.
Again, as I said before, what are the Republicans doing about the incitement to violence? You have people actually calling for Trump to be killed outside of the Department of Education. You have members of Congress assaulting my staff. What's going to happen? Are we just going to keep bitching about it on Fox News? Are we just going to keep tweeting about it? What's Mike Johnson going to do about it? What's John Thune going to do about it? You know, I'm just getting really sick and tired of the Republican Party complaining about everything. What's the point? What's the point, you know? What's the point of having Republicans in power? Ugh, it's exhausting, doesn't it? And then if you call it out, you're like an aggressor because they say that you're talking shit about the Republican Party. But honestly, it's so hard to not talk shit about the party. They do more harm these days than they're doing good. It needs to be said. I mean, how can you say that you're actually doing something good when you're allowing for domestic terrorists to engage in these behaviors without cracking down? How many times can you go on Fox News and wave your little nanny finger and say, you know what, we're not going to tolerate this. But you know what, we actually are going to tolerate it because we don't have the balls in the Republican Party to actually censure anybody. How many times can we watch people go on Sean Hannity and promise that things are going to be better? They're going to send another strongly worded letter. They're going to crack down. What do they mean by they're going to crack down? They're going to go bitch about it on Twitter and go on Fox News and whine? I mean, when was the last time we actually saw a Republican do something? Has anybody been arrested since Donald Trump became president? Has anybody gone to jail? Is anybody going to go to jail? Are we ever going to get the Jeffrey Epstein files? I just have so many questions. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out about it when somebody decides to talk about it and their signal messages get leaked. I guess that's the only way we're going to find out about anything these days. Doesn't look like anybody's going to jail. Looks like they get to call for, you know, the incitement to violence. The Secret Service gets to just completely defy Trump's orders and defy his order to shut down Hunter Biden's Secret Service. Nobody's going to go to jail. Nobody's going to get fired. Nobody is going to be held accountable. What's accountability? Oh, I don't know. It's a word that doesn't exist in the dictionary of the GOP. Kind of incredible when you think about it. It's enough to make you go crazy. I mean, sometimes I just sit around and it's like my head is just like spinning at the end of the day because I'm like, how do I continue to justify some of this stuff? That's the thing though. It's like, I can't continue justifying a lot of this behavior because it really is just that despicable. We have a new sponsor here at Loomer Unleashed, so I want to take a moment to thank our new sponsor tonight. I'm excited to share this new company with you. It's an American company. It's called Wildflower Coffee Company. Wildflower Coffee Company is a specialty coffee company created and owned by a Christian husband and wife duo. Really interesting, cute company. And they sent me a package with some samples and some coffee, and it was so cute. It came in this really cute pink box that had really nice packaging, and they took their time to wrap it very nicely, and they sent me this beautiful card. So I want to thank them for that. At Wildflower Coffee, they care about quality. So all of their coffee is organic. It's roasted to order, direct trade, mold, and mycotoxin free, and it's all made in the USA. And as I said before, it has very cute packaging, so it makes for a great gift. It's not like you're just ordering coffee from the supermarket. It really does come in the cutest little gift boxes. And so if you wanted to gift somebody coffee, or you wanted to gift them some of the coffee products like the coffee makers and the coffee machines, the espresso machines that they have here on their website, they really do make interesting gifts and really thoughtful gifts, because who doesn't want to have a nice high quality coffee maker? They've just released a new mushroom latte mix. It's really good. I enjoy it. I have it sitting on my kitchen counter. It's called Mind Glow. Mind Glow combines the energy boost of coffee with the adaptogenic benefits of 6 different mushrooms, ashwagandha, and the soothing comfort of cacao. It's delicious. It contains no artificial flavors, binders, fillers, or gums. It's gut healthy, it boosts mental clarity, and it boosts your energy levels, and it also helps reduce brain fog. It's the perfect companion to a productive day. All you have to do is add steamed milk and honey. Like I said, it's delicious. I didn't think that, adding honey and steamed milk was going to sound very appetizing, but honestly, it tastes so good, and it's very easy to mix. I had never tried this before, but now I'm glad that I have, thanks to the samples that Wildflower Coffee Company sent me. Wildflower Coffee Company also offers a variety of premium non-mushroom coffee for those who prefer a classic cup, along with high-quality coffee equipment, including espresso machines, kettles, and grinders. Everything you need to brew the perfect cup of coffee at home. Shop Mind Glow from Wildflower Coffee Company and more. Like I said, they have all types of coffee machines, coffee makers, espresso machines, and different types of coffees. And you can visit their website at wildflowercoffeecompany.com. And when you use code Loomer at checkout, or you can click the link below at the bottom of this episode on Rumble, you'll get 20% off your first order of coffee. Again, that's code Loomer for 20% off your first order of any coffee. Or you can subscribe on their website and receive 10% off fresh coffee delivered to your door every single month. Again, the website is wildflowercoffeecompany.com. And when you check out at the end, when you are done selecting all of the products that you want, after you go through their very cute and intricate website, I think they have like very cute packaging and designs. I really like their graphics. You use code Loomer at checkout, and again, you'll get up to 20% off your order. So thank you to Wildflower Coffee Company for sponsoring Loomer Unleashed. And hey, if you're watching my show and you're interested in becoming a sponsor, all you have to do is reach out to us. You can DM me on Twitter at Laura Loomer. You can also DM me on the Loomer Unleashed account, and you too can become a subscriber. We also offer subscriptions on my website, loomer.com, in the form of banners. And that's really how we fund our independent journalism here. We're not funded by billionaires or multimillionaires. I don't have a fancy production studio. I have a studio. I have nice equipment, but at the end of the day, we try to do things on a bare bones budget so that we can continue pumping out these hard-hitting investigations and breaking massive stories that are enacting massive change, like getting Hunter Biden's Secret Service revoked, or having charges pressed against Jasmine Crockett, right? We're now having a national discussion about whether or not she is unfit to be a member of Congress after she physically assaulted my reporter today. So we're doing great work here at Loomer Unleashed, and we're completely supported and funded by subscribers and our sponsors and the people who want to support our work, either by buying the products that we are promoting here on Loomer Unleashed, or by becoming a sponsor for my show. And, some people complain, they say, oh, why do you have to have sponsor reads during your show? Well, we don't work for the mainstream media. How do you think that we're going to fund our independent reporting unless we have great businesses? We're not promoting products from China. We're promoting American manufacturing, because it's important that we start supporting American manufacturers and American made products and American businesses here. And that's what we do here at Loomer Unleashed. Every company that we partner with is focused on products made here in America. It's an American company. It's a small business, and it's supporting American workers, which is something that's very important to me as an America First conservative investigative reporter. I want to cut back to the chat in case any of you have any more questions. We have a super chat. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Zaku5. He said, Laura, I've followed your work for a long time and appreciate your true journalism. I just found you on Rumble, and I'm happy to have followed you. One of the true few journalists breaking news today. Thank you. I really appreciate your support. All right. I want to cut to a situation that's unfolding across the country right now in states like Florida, West Virginia, and Texas. You may have seen there are these food dye bills that are now being taken up in red states by Republican legislatures. And what's really interesting is that they're trying to, on the surface, promote this as legislation that's going to improve healthy eating habits for children and improve the health of America overall. And it, when you think about it, you think, oh, wow, what's so bad about removing dyes from food? Well, of course, we all want to have healthier food. And of course, we want children to be healthier. We want school lunches to be healthier. But at what cost are we going to make this happen on a state-by-state basis? And at what point is some legislation better suited for federal legislation as opposed to state by state bills that are going to wreak havoc and create all these different state by state regulations instead of just standards that are the same all across the board. And so that's the argument that I've made, because I live here in Florida, and I noticed that they had a big press conference the other day during session where you had this woman who goes by Food Babe. We can get her X account pulled up. Her name is Vani Hari. She's a Democrat operative. She was a delegate for Barack Hussein Obama at the 2012 convention, and she's positioned herself now as one of these Maha moms and, a Maha advocate. And she's going around the country with this guy named Todd Wagner. Who's Todd Wagner? Well, Todd Wagner is one of Mark Cuban's business partners, and he funded and founded this organization called Food Fight USA. And during the 2024 presidential election season, Todd Wagner was a mega donor on the Democrat side for Kamala Harris. He actually donated over $200,000 to Kamala Harris. And we can go ahead, if you want to see the article that I wrote about this, you can go to loomered.com. You can go to loomered.com and you can check it out for yourself. We'll go through the article right now. But essentially, you have these Trojan horse operatives who are trying to co-opt Republicans under the banner of Maha. So yes, of course, we now have Robert F. Kennedy as our Human Health Services Secretary, and he's promised to clean up food dyes. He wants to do all these things. He wants to ban pharmaceutical companies from having advertisements on TV. He wants to take out the dyes. And yeah, of course, we want to reduce harmful dyes in our food. But what's happening now is that each state now is having these different legislative issues promoted and proposed by Vani Hari and Todd Wagner, Democrat operatives. And what you're now seeing is different regulations in all 50 states. And so in the Florida legislation, for example, not only do they want to remove and have an enforcer within the Department of Agriculture here in the state of Florida enforcing the removal of these dyes from food products and beverages, but they also want to start forcing people to label things. So what's going to happen if you're a small business owner and you have to have all these new special labels that are in compliance with this new legislation if it does pass and if Ron DeSantis does sign it into law here in Florida? By the way, it's completely modeled off of the California Food and Safety Act, which has been a total disaster in California. It's called nanny state regulations, and the people of California have nothing but complaints for the California Food and Safety Bill. Why do I bring this up? Because it could be very easy with a Republican-controlled House and Senate for President Trump and RFK Jr. to have some type of federal proposal that is then drafted into federal legislation that is then voted into law by the House Republicans and, maybe some House Democrats, I don't know, and then also signed by the Senate. This could be very easy to do, but instead of RFK Jr. spearheading and taking the initiative to lead this federal legislation, you're now seeing interstate commerce chaos erupting. We're seeing the blueprint that is being laid in all 50 states now, starting with California and now Florida and now West Virginia, where yesterday, or Monday rather, yesterday, Monday, the governor of West Virginia signed this legislation into effect. And we can go ahead and get his tweet pulled up so you can see what he said. They're basically doing the bidding of Democrat operatives. You have these Republican governors in Republican states, and you have these Republican legislatures in Republican states doing the bidding of these Kamala Harris mega donors and Democrat Party operatives like Vani Hari and Todd Wagner, who are just trying to wreak havoc on interstate commerce. So let's just say now you take all the dyes out of products in West Virginia and products in Texas and products in Florida. Well, if you're a small business and you have food products that you have to ship to all of the 50 states, now you're going to have different labels for all of the different states, which is going to increase your costs substantially. And it's going to either cause economic hardship or interstate commerce nightmares for small businesses that are trying to mass produce products that don't have the enormous financial backing and the enormous financial resources of these large scale food and beverage companies. And so I just wanted to bring this to your attention because we're seeing legislation like this pop up. Like I said, where I live here in Florida, it also popped up in West Virginia, and now they're trying to do something similar in Texas. And I just want to encourage you all to think rationally and look at the facts and read this article to see who is behind this legislation. These are not honest people. These are not people who are trying to accomplish something for the benefit of making children healthier or making the American people healthier. These are Democrat Party activists and Democrat Party operatives who are trying to sneak in more regulations that are going to harm small businesses, more regulations that are going to create nanny state regulations in Republican states so that Democrat operatives who are also Kamala Harris mega donors and Democrats to the or mega donors to the Democrat Party can have more influence within these state legislatures. We can go through the article and you can see the receipts yourself, because some people are like, oh, you know, why would you be opposed to removing food dyes? Well, look at the people that are promoting this legislation and look at the things and the facts that they're completely ignoring. They're not even taking into account the fact that in West Virginia, the national median income is lower, or the state median income is lower than the national median income here in America. And so you're only going to be increasing the cost of services and the cost of food for people in one of the poorest states in the country that already struggles with obesity and food insecurity due to the severe levels of poverty. Let's scroll down. You can see the article. You can read this article if it's of interest to you. In a regulatory move stirring controversy, the advocacy group Food Fight USA is spearheading efforts to introduce legislation in Florida and West Virginia modeled after a California law passed earlier this year. The initiative, which critics described as nanny state regulation, seeks to ban certain food dyes, a measure proponents claim aligns with the Make America Healthy Again agenda. So they're trying to co-opt MAGA by using the MAHA banner. And I think it's really dangerous, because if you start allowing for these Obama operatives and Democrat donors who hate President Trump to gain legitimacy in state legislators or Republican states, then what's that going to do? Then they're going to be able to dupe you on other forms of legislation that they either want to spearhead or they want to fund themselves. And then you're going to slowly see red states become blue states. That's what's going to happen. And Republicans need to be made aware of the way that they are being manipulated under the banner of MAHA, under the exploitation of people's emotions about, oh, you know, we have to save the children, do it for the children. Well, if it's about the children, then, you know, why don't we get RFK Jr. to do a national legislation? Why doesn't he work with Congress? And why doesn't he work with the Trump administration to get some kind of executive order or get some kind of federal legislation going? I just don't understand why he's sitting back and allowing for these Democrat operatives, these Obama operatives who come from his MAHA movement, to create interstate commerce chaos across the country. And I'm hoping to get some Republican lawmakers from the Florida legislature on my show to talk about this, because I know that some of them who were originally going to be supporting this legislation decided to not support the legislation after they read my article and they saw the counterpoints that I was making to this legislation and the arguments that I was making. And a lot of this is not being brought up or even brought to the attention of these Republican lawmakers across the country. You can scroll down. Food Fight USA founder Todd Wagner, in conjunction with Democrat activist Vani Hari, who goes by Food Babe, recently held a joint press conference at the Florida Capitol on March 13th, rallying support for Florida House Bill 641, food additives, and Senate Bill 764, food additives. The duo has positioned these bills as a step toward healthier communities and as legislation focused on combating childhood obesity, yet scrutiny of their political affiliations and the legislation's origins has raised questions about their motives. You can scroll down some more. FEC records reveal that Wagner donated $100,000 to Vice President Kamala Harris on September 11th. That's just one day after the presidential debate. I would know, I was there. Remember, I traveled with President Trump to that debate. The debate was on September 10th. In February of 2024, Wagner donated $103,000 or $103,250 to what was then the Biden Victory Fund, which later became the Kamala Harris Victory Fund when Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential election. Wagner also contributed to Democrat Party organizations in the battleground states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania during the 2024 election cycle. Todd Wagner lists 29 Entertainment as his employer in FEC records and on his X bio. The 2929 Entertainment website states that Wagner co-founded the integrated media and entertainment company with Mark Cuban. So you can see here, it clearly says Todd Wagner, Harris Victory Fund. And stupidly enough, you have Republicans now locking arms with Todd Wagner, who's business partners with one of the biggest Trump haters out there, Mark Cuban, to promote this Trojan horse legislation that is just going to create nanny state regulations across our country. It's no surprise that the first state that accepted and signed into law this legislation is California. Gavin Newsom, who is a Marxist. You can scroll down, continue reading. There's a photo of Vani Hari, one of RFK Jr.'s most adamant supporters, sat directly behind him during his Senate confirmation hearing. So look, just because, President Trump has decided that we're going to finally have Democrats in our cabinet, whatever, who knows how that's going to play out, his idea, right? We'll see what happens. President Trump appointed Democrats to his cabinet, and now we're going to see over time whether or not it was a good decision to have Democrats in the cabinet. Hopefully they deliver. I want to see RFK Jr. deliver. But one of the things that he could actually do if he wants to deliver is tell his Maha operatives, who all happen to be tied to Barack Obama, tied to Joe Biden, tied to Kamala Harris, tied to Mark Cuban, tell them to rein it in and stop trying to destroy interstate commerce in red states. Like, why are these Democrat operatives trying to set their sights on Republican states as a way to destroy interstate commerce and harm small businesses? If RFK Jr. is so powerful and RFK Jr. is so amazing and you finally got your guy in, why can't RFK Jr. spearhead federal legislation? I just don't understand it. You really want to have 50 different regulations in 50 different states so that if you're a small business and you're exporting a food product, you have to create 50 different labels or you're fined? What happens if you accidentally use the wrong shipping label? Are you going to get fined? Are you going to get fined? Are they going to shut your business down because you accidentally put the label for California on the label for Minnesota? This is a stupid idea to be implemented on a state level. And again, be careful who you're getting your information from. Be careful about the motives of these individuals. Vani Hari has also attacked President Trump, suggesting that he's fat, attacking his physical appearance. This is a Democrat. This is a Democrat operative. This is somebody who went out of their way to be a delegate for Barack Hussein Obama, the most divisive and destructive president we've ever had in our country. And Republicans are just, locking arms with this woman? Does anybody do any vetting in the Republican Party? Maybe it's time to leave the Republican Party, honestly. They don't value vetting. I'm not saying I'm going to be a Democrat, but maybe it's time to be an independent. I don't know. I mean, the Republican Party just clearly doesn't care about vetting. They're just willing to let these Democrats come in and tell them under the guise of Maha, oh, here you go, support this nanny state legislation, sign it into effect because we're Maha. Last time I checked, the Maha people just showed up in the last month of the election. They're not actually conservatives. They don't share our conservative viewpoint. They don't seem to care about the functioning of a small business. They don't really seem to have the same economic fiscal mindset that true conservatives have. So maybe we should be a little bit more skeptical of the legislation that these progressive Obama operatives who are working with RFK Jr. are trying to promote in states like Florida and West Virginia and Texas. You can scroll down and continue reading this article if you want. Has all the details there, but essentially, you have the governor of West Virginia, and I tweeted about this today, actually. You have the governor of West Virginia, posting this ridiculous, stupid tweet, acting like he did some great service to the people of West Virginia. It's like, yeah, congratulations, you got duped by Democrat operatives. Like, I don't understand why these Republican governors are acting like this is some great accomplishment. You're getting duped. You're getting brainwashed. You're getting fleeced by Democrat operatives, by Obama operatives, by people who donated to Kamala Harris a month before the election. Wow. What are we supposed to be celebrating here? the destruction of interstate commerce. So again, you know, we don't really have a lot of smart, effective leaders on our side in the Republican Party. We're only going to have 4 more years of Donald Trump, you guys, and then what? Who's going to pick up the mantle? Because apparently we have a party full of a bunch of retards. Hate to say it. Look, I am a Republican and I support the Republican Party. I'm not going to ever vote Democrat, but at the end of the day, we have so many retard governors. We have so many retard members of Congress that don't want to censure people for violence. Like, what is the Republican Party's future going to look like after Donald Trump? You have people acting like they don't know how Signal works, right? I mean, we have to call it out. We have to call out the incompetence within our own party, because it's going to be a disaster in the next 4 years when Donald Trump is no longer president of the United States if we continue to allow for this idiotic behavior to continue. And we keep making excuses for it. I mean, what are people actually going to hold the Republican Party accountable? It's unbelievable. Let's see what people have to say in the comments section. This is why now I also started my own consulting firm and made it bipartisan, because the Republican Party doesn't want to actually embrace vetting, right? You offer these services, you tell the Republican Party, look, you know, you guys are screwing up. Let me show you why what you're doing is wrong. And what do? They don't actually take it seriously. And is it any wonder why we are, you know, at risk of losing control of the House in 2026? I mean, Republicans just want to ignore their blind spots. They don't want to actually take any steps to fix their vetting crises. You're seeing it on a state level too. You're having state legislators get completely co-opted. You're going to see Republican state legislatures get completely co-opted and infiltrated by Democrat activists throwing money around, pretending like they're doing stuff under the banner of MAHA. And then before you know it, you're going to have red states with blue legislators, and then they're not going to be red states anymore. Just unbelievable. Let's scroll up. I want to see some of the comments. I don't know if you guys have thoughts about these health additive bills, these food additive bills, but they're Trojan horse pieces of legislation that are going to do nothing but destroy small businesses. I would support it on a federal level. On a state level, no. Somebody said, Laura, Signalgate is a prime example of retard. Yeah. You can scroll up. Let's see. Exactly, Laura. I'm independent because there's no benefit to aligning with either party. And then you say this stuff and you're like, hey, you know, I want to have a conversation with you about the implications, the economic implications that your nanny state legislation is going to have on small businesses and interstate commerce. And they're like, you must be getting paid by the soda companies. Why are you attacking our coalition? Don't you understand that Maha helped Trump win? And it's like, you can't even have a conversation with people in the Republican Party because everything is so personal now. Like, you can't even tell them, hey, you know, I think that you need to do more vetting on this person. Or maybe, you know, maybe you should take another look at this piece of legislation, because everything's like a personal affront now, you know? So maybe they're going to lose control of the House in 2026 due to their own ignorance. I don't know. I hope not. I mean, I really hope that the Democrats don't take control, but I get called the bad guy. I get called the villain. I get called the antagonist or the person that's a troublemaker because I'm trying to bring this perspective to the forefront and say, you know, I don't really know. You know, I don't really know if it's a good idea for Republican lawmakers to be co-sponsoring legislation with Kamala Harris mega donors who are supporting communist bills in California. I don't know. I don't know. But of course, you know, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Then they say that I'm a troublemaker, and they say that I'm a conflict creator, and that I'm just a chaos agent within my own party. So I had to start my own firm because you know what? I belong to a party of ingrates. I belong to a party that doesn't actually value and respect talent. I belong to a party that wants to promote mediocrity. I belong to a feckless party that doesn't have any regard for vetting or opposition research. And so the Republican Party is probably just going to learn a really hard lesson in 2026. And I can't be the one to fix it anymore. I just can't. If they want me to fix it, they're going to have to pay me going forward because I'm just not going to do any of this work for free. So that's why I created my company, Loomer Strategies. You can scroll down. Let's go to the comments. It's just, you can't, there's only so much free work you can do for a party that doesn't want to help itself, you know? And every day there's another scandal. Every single day there's another scandal. Every day in the Republican Party, there's another excuse made. Oh, we didn't know. Oh, you know, I don't know how that happened. Oh, we didn't know that they donated to Kamala. Oh, we didn't know that they attacked President Trump. Oh, we didn't know that this person has been a citizen for 2 minutes. Oh, we didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know. You don't know because you're not doing any vetting. You don't know because you don't take any time to actually research. And one of these days, it's going to cause a massive problem. Somebody's going to get impeached. Somebody's going to get, you know, forced to resign. Something crazy is going to happen because of the failures, the leadership failures within our own Republican Party. So, I don't know. I've tried to help them. I really have tried to help them, but look, we have Republican legislators now that are literally allowing for Democrats to deliver legislation and lie to Republicans and tell them to sign these bills because it's Maha. Like, they're being co-opted. They're being infiltrated. This is a perfect example of how the Republican Party is being infiltrated under the guise of Make America Healthy Again, and it's going to backfire significantly. And then when you have small business owners that get negatively impacted by these nanny state regulations, they're going to say, why would I vote Republican when the Republicans are the ones that signed this legislation into effect that destroyed my small business? And then what? No one's going to show up to vote. And you say this to the Republicans and they just like blow you off. They don't even care to listen. They don't care. They don't care. Put your comments in the chat. And before we sign out, I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of tonight's episode of Loomer Unleashed, Kirk Elliott Precious Metals. What happens to your money in the bank when the BRICS nations continue their economic warfare against America and start dumping their U.S. treasuries in retaliation to the Trump tariffs? This is something we've talked about extensively here on Loomer Unleashed and with Dr. Kirk Elliott himself. Are your bank assets truly safe? Did you know that the FDIC only has about 1.2% of all deposits insured? It doesn't take much for a bank run significantly worse than what we saw after Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, and First Republic failed. You need to get out of the system with the world's safest assets, silver and gold. Let the buyer beware, though, that there are a lot of garbage companies out there that will sell you high-priced collectible silver and gold, but don't fall for it. We've all seen their gimmicky commercials online. This is why I've decided to partner with Dr. Kirk Elliott Precious Metals, because Dr. Kirk cares about you and your family. He's trustworthy, he's honest, and he educates you. And he answers all your questions before you make a purchase so that you can make sure that it's the right decision for you. He only deals with low-cost bullion that doesn't carry high premiums. And what I love is that physical metals can even be placed in your own physical IRA. So call Dr. Kirk Elliott today at 720-605-3900 or visit the landing page here they've created for Loomer Unleashed viewers at kepm.com/Loomer, where you can fill out the form and you can schedule a call to speak with a professional at Kirk Elliott Precious Metals. Again, call 720-605-3900 or visit kepm.com/Loomer. Get out of the system with the most reliable assets and invest in precious metals today. Again, you can call Dr. Kirk Elliott at 720-605-3900 or visit kepm.com/Loomer. We've only heard great things from our viewers here at Loomer Unleashed about Kirk Elliott. So definitely, if you're interested in investing in gold and silver, call Dr. Kirk Elliott today, Kirk Elliott Precious Metals. Let's go back to the chat. Take some last comments, questions. We got a lot of viewers tonight, actually. We are still live on Rumble and X, so if you're just tuning in now or you missed it, you joined late, you can watch the replay too, so don't worry about that. 64,000 live viewers on X. How many live viewers do we have on Rumble right now? Let's see. Got a lot of viewers. And look, I know that a lot of people get triggered by what I'm saying about Maha and, you know, they're getting triggered about what I'm saying about the Republican Party. But it's the truth. We can't all just sit around and be sycophants all day. We have to call it out. I mean, it's laughable. It's embarrassing. The Republican Party should be embarrassed with the news coverage they had today. I mean, really, honestly, the people in charge of our national security don't know how a reporter got added to a Signal chat? Come on. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And it's bullshit too. Like, we don't need to sit here and have another week-long, oh, like, where's Waldo? Like, where's the reporter? Oh my God, you know, who added this reporter to the Signal chat? Like, we don't need to sit down and pretend like we don't know how somebody got added to a Signal chat. Somebody who's in the Signal chat had to physically add them to a chat. There's literally like 4 steps that have to be made in order to add somebody to a Signal chat. So, again, they love making excuses, whether it's like, oh, why did Trump endorse this rhino? Didn't anybody do any vetting on this individual and let him know that this person called him Hitler? Didn't anybody let him know that this person called him a fashion don't? Like, and then you're the bad guy, right? Oh, Laura Loomer's attacking me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, she's so awful. She's so unhinged. We can't work with her. I'm literally the only one that's actually putting in the time and effort to vet these stupid people. So they don't appreciate it, you know? So what's the point? What's the point? You know, life's too short to be doing work for people that don't appreciate anything. Let's scroll up. Let's see. Any more comments, you guys? Any more comments? Mainstream media sucks. Nowhere else to go. Carl's got ghettoed. How many live viewers do we have right now, Cannon, on Rumble? What is it? I want to know the number. Let's see right now. Wow, got a lot of live viewers. Great. 24,000 live viewers. Great. Be sure that you're following me, you guys. Follow me on Rumble, rumble.com/Laura Loomer. And again, follow us on X, Loomer Unleashed, and also at Laura Loomer. If you want to follow Charles Downs, you can follow him at the Charles Downs. I think that's pretty much it for tonight, you guys. My deposition with Bill Maher, I have a live video deposition on April 4th. As you recall, maybe you don't recall, if you've been following me for a while, then you remember last year after the debate, Bill Maher falsely accused me of having sexual relations with Donald Trump. They tried to Monica Lewinsky me, so I sued him. And my video deposition with Bill Maher is going to be in Los Angeles on April 4th, so that will be interesting, you know? Of course, Bill Maher, what's his reward? You know, he gets to falsely accuse the president of the United States of having an affair with me and gets to disparage Melania Trump. And his reward is to get invited to go to the White House. Imagine that, you know? Love it. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love how all of the enemies and all the people that shit talk Trump and his most loyal supporters get invited to the White House? Isn't it great? Wonderful. This loyalty is a one-way street for some people. Amazing. Wonderful, isn't it? We got Democrats in the cabinet. We got Democrat mega donors advising the president. We got Bill Maher going to the White House after falsely accusing me of having sex with the president. Amazing. Amazing. All right, you guys. Well, Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure that you're following me on X at Laura Loomer and on X at Loomer Unleashed. We're going to be breaking more stories throughout the week. We're going to be covering all the Tesla takedown protests. And if you have any tips or any of the footage that you want to send in from covering your own Tesla takedown event in your own communities, because there are going to be about 200 of these events happening this weekend, you can put it in our Loomer Tesla takedown watchdog community. It's open source. We created this community for people to post their video footage and to communicate, and also communicate, expose, and identify the organizers and report them not just to members of the community, but also to law enforcement, since there are a lot of these violent individuals. But be sure that you're following me for updates, because I am going to be breaking some more stories about Hunter Biden this week, because he is in South Africa and the investigation is continuing, and you're not going to want to miss that. But with that, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It's incredible that we had so many viewers. I really appreciate you tuning into my show. Be sure that you support us on Locals, loomer.locals.com, or you can subscribe to my X account at Laura Loomer, because we are an independent publication and it is your support that helps us keep going. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern for another live episode of Loomer Unleashed. Have a great night.
There is a young female journalist, conservative journalist, by the name of Laura Loomer.
If America's men acted like Laura Loomer, our problems will be fixed in about 5 minutes.
Chained herself to
She
Twitter.
chained herself.